Hey guys, this is a walkthrough of the teacher planner in this plain neutral theme. I do have a bunch of different layouts available. This is the dated 2021 planner from January to December. Whether you get the dated, the undated, or the January start, July start, all of the planners are basically the same. Obviously, the only things that would be different would be the calendars, whether they have dates and what dates do they have. So this is just a walkthrough of the portrait planner, and I will also talk about the landscape one as well. So as you can tell with this planner, I've done a few different things. I've added some tabs up at the top to some shortcuts that are things that people often need. So also I did put the to-do list button down here to make it easier to access because I found that some people didn't want to go to the index to get to it. Now, what stayed the same was our month tabs, obviously, and our home mug and access to your Google Drive. So we're going to go ahead and go through the planner. So right after the cover page, you have this kind of opening page where you can write your name, your room, grade, and school. You can get fancy with your name and use it in Procreate or anywhere else. Or you can always just write it using the tools provided inside Goodnotes. So after that page, we come on to a page where it's easier to access, any of my digital planning tutorials, or as well as find me on social media. At the bottom right are the hex codes used in this planner. You can easily use those if you want to add a different color pen or highlighter. You would just come here to custom and add one to your presets. So you could use those. So after this page is where you can copy and paste your academic calendar for the year. I like to copy my district's calendar and put it right here and usually put the year up here because the calendar is always changing. After that, there is your year planning sheet for your 5 goals as well as your word of the year. And then we move into our index section. As you can tell, I was already starting to edit. So basically, you have all of the usual tabs. When it comes to our index, you have your lesson plans, yearly plans, standards, passwords, schedules, small group, gradebook, to-do list, your daily planning page, weekly planning page, student information, communication, data tracking, notes, page templates, and professional development. Now, some of these can be accessed right up here, but I just wanted to make sure it was accessed in your index as well. These 8 right here are blank tabs that you can customize for your own. So as you can see, I was already starting to write student information. So you can write them on top of these tabs, and then it will bring you to where you need to be. Please ignore my 3-year-old in the background. Pandemic life. Here we are. So you can click on it and it will bring you to that blank tab. And as you can see, it says blank tab 1 down at the bottom, as well as for the other ones. So that way you know which tab you're on. But you can customize these, duplicate these pages in whatever way you need to. So that is your index. After your index, we have a nice little quote page followed by your passwords log. And then it brings you to your lesson plan template. So all of these will bring you to, cover page. All of these will bring you to the cover page. So that way you can choose whichever lesson plan template you want. So if you want a specific one, then you can delete the others. And then when you hit lessons, it will still bring you back to this cover page. So if this is the page you want, you could always just copy and duplicate it by select. And then you want to hit copy. And then whenever you're finished, you would hit done. Go to where you want to insert it, click the down arrow, add page after, and then you would click paste. And that would bring you to where you need to be and have that page. So I would suggest if you want your lesson plan pages to be behind your individual weeks, then I would suggest making a copy and then moving it. Do not, and I repeat, do not delete any pages that are linked directly to. So if this links directly to my lesson plans page, I do not want to delete this page or move this page because this lesson link will not work throughout the entire planner. So this page is not linked to anything, as well as the other templates. That's why I linked it to the same one. And that goes for any of these other ones. You don't want to delete anything that is linked to it because then the links will be broken and they will not work. So you have the different lesson plan templates. and you could always choose which one you want, followed by your yearly plans. And then I have standards. So this is where I copy and paste my standards. So again, if you teach more than one subject, you have more than one set of standards, you need more, you can just duplicate this page and insert it right behind it. I decided to do something a little bit different with schedules in this planner. I realized that people are having so many different types of schedules because hashtag 2020 happened. So you want to, you can use these as links. This is to bring you to your daily schedule and then your special schedule, followed by your duty schedule, and then I left a blank one. So if you have a hybrid schedule or a virtual or so on, you could use this page to make sure that you have that schedule ready to go at your fingertips. After that, and you can see I already started to customize this, is your grade book, and you can access that right here from grades. So every grade book has 6 links right here, and as you can see, I have to keep track of block 1, 2, and 3's math grades as well as their conduct grades. So what I do is make sure that I label them, and then it'll bring me to that class. See, block 1 math. If I click on this tab, it'll bring me back to my grade book and so on. So this is gonna bring me to block 2, go back to my cover. This is gonna bring me to block 3 and so on. So this is going to keep all of my stuff organized. Basically, each grade book set has 6 class links, 6 class lists, and each list has enough for 30 students. If this is not enough for your block 1 math, you would duplicate, copy, and paste this page again, just like I showed you earlier, so you can have them right behind each other. And then each grade book set, there are 4 in the planner. So this one I would probably label as first 9 weeks. And then if you come here to next grade book, I would label this one as second 9 weeks. Next grade book, I would label this one to third 9 weeks. And this one to fourth 9 weeks. Now, what's great about this gradebook section is that if this is my class for the first 9 weeks, I can easily just copy and paste them by lassoing around, tap, copy, and then I can go and paste it somewhere else or just put it back whenever I'm ready for my second 9 weeks and so on. So all of those names are ready to go. I don't have to worry about it. Now, if I need to email this page to my administrator, I could just come up here to the shared button and then I would hit print or export, and then it will ask me if I want to do just this page or the entire planner. So that's the gradebook section. And again, you have 4 gradebooks. Each gradebook has 6 sections, and each section has enough for 30 students. Now you can always duplicate it and make as many as more as you want. So the next page after that is your to-do list, which can also be accessed here. You can add these cute little stickers, and then I started just putting some things because I always like to have a running to-do list. I do like the daily planning sheet, but this was a little bit more to fill out, and sometimes I have more time to fill that out. Sometimes I just have a running to-do list that I just need to jot stuff down. So I wanted that button right there. After your daily plan is your weekly plan, and then it's followed by your student information. So this is the student information page where you can put all of their info, parent communication, where you can log where you talk to parents. Of course, you can make more copies if you need. Then we have our meeting notes. I gave you 2 different options. I know some people like the dots, so I wanted to leave them, but then some people like without, so they can insert pictures from slides or handouts from a meeting, so that is blank as well. Then we have our professional development session, which again can be accessed right here. And then we have with the dots and without the dots, so whichever you prefer. So if you don't like the PD section that has the dots, you can delete these pages because the link goes straight to this one. So after your PD section, we have our small group documentation page. And then, of course, this section can be duplicated as many times. I like to just list the names of the kids that I work with, and then I document what exactly we do and how I plan. Then we come to my student data, and then, of course, this is for specific students, so you could use this and duplicate it for how many students you need. And then it comes into your planning. So again, remember, this is all included in no matter what planner you purchase, whether it's the dated, undated, or January or July start. Every single one has a monthly planning page where you can put your focus 5, any holidays and events, notes, goals, and your word of the month. And then we come into our monthly calendar. Now, every monthly calendar in the dated one only, the dated one will bring you to that specific one. So in January, if I click on the Monday date, it will bring me to that week. So that way I have it all. I can just go specifically there. And then you can also edit these by adding stickers and everything else. So I like to add these little fun stickers. These are included in the back. And then I also add my Bitmoji as well. So these can all be added by just using the lasso tool like I showed you earlier. And I do have a lot of detailed videos in my YouTube channel that says exactly what you need to do to know how to use the digital stickers. Go ahead and check those out. After that, you have your weekly planning, and I kind of use this as like a note section right here, or just stickers. And then I have my 3 blocks of math I teach, and then my small groups. This is colored differently. I just used a highlighter, but normally it would look like this. So the good thing is once you kind of get a layout you want, you can simply just use the lasso tool and lasso what you need and copy it and paste it to the one you want. So this is my weekly layout. And again, ignore any 3-year-old you hear in the background because, you know, pandemic life. So this is the weekly layout. And again, this is for every single month. And it goes all the way through December. So all the way through December. And we're going to go ahead and go all the way through to the end where we have another little quote, and then we have our page templates. So this will bring you to the templates that are listed. I have a couple of different squared options, and then there are also some dotted and a blank one. Behind all the templates, it will bring you to the blank tabs, which remember you can see at the bottom because it will be labeled. So there's 8 blank tabs, and then after those 8 blank tabs, you will see the sticker section. So here starts our academic sticker section, and you, just like my previous planners, you can click on these and it will bring you to that specific sticker. I try to include them in 3 different colors and sometimes different styles to give you plenty of different options. And then there's also like for the breaks, there are small options and bigger options, and then I tried to add some other little doodles. And as usual, there are blank stickers, and then followed by our lifestyle stickers that kind of fit the theme of this planner. There are a few new ones, and then some are just updated with the color scheme and fonts that match this planner. So at the end of this planner, there are some numbers if you wish to use those. If you wish to use those at any point, mostly for the undated planners, you may want to use these to put the dates in your month or in your week. And then there's also somewhere you can change up for the undated planners to add the different years. And then I have some other blank ones at the end. So again, this is the dated planner. All those pages are included for the undated, and then depending on which month you start, it's all included. So now we're going to talk about the landscape planner, which again has different options as well. The landscape planner has a dated and undated option, July start, January start as well, so as well as Google Drive. So this is the landscape planner for 2021. Remember, all the same pages, just different dates, whether you have dates or not. So with this landscape planner, I decided to not have the rings in the middle to try to make it look a little bit more realistic and to save space. I feel like the people that like landscape like a lot of space. Those who like landscape like to have a lot of space. So I tried to make sure that I gave you as much space as possible. Now, what is different between this and the portrait is the months are up at the top, the popular pages are down on the sides, and then the blank tabs, I also listed them here as well as in the index. So again, here's your cover page, and then we have our tips for use, academic calendar, our quote and planning page, and then our index. Just like in the portrait, we have our 8 blank tabs, and then we have our regular tabs here. After that, we move on to a quote page and a password log and a lesson plans page. So all of the cover pages have some kind of quote or something else that will come here, so that way it's not so bland. I tried to make it to where you could at least list some things, put pictures of things, notes or anything if you needed to underneath the cover page, so that way you had that room. And then after that, we have our lesson plan section. I tried to include as many different options as possible. This is one of my favorite options because I can list like my days going down the side. Of course, this will be blank whenever you purchase. And then we also have this one where it has Monday through Friday and your notes section. Again, you don't want to delete the cover page that says lessons. You just want to delete any other templates you don't want. I never delete pages out my planner. I usually just copy and duplicate them and move those duplicated copy pages wherever we need to be. So this is the yearly plans. So you can kind of scope out where you want all of your chapters for the year to be. And then we move into our standard section. Again, this might be enough for one subject, and then you can always add more later. And then we have our schedules. Same thing applied. These are links to the different templates, and then you can go through and add what you need to the blank one if you needed one for a hybrid AB schedule or virtual schedule. Then we move into the grade book. The same thing applies with the 6 sections, but the good part about the landscape is you have way more class options. So a lot of people message me and say they don't have enough room in the landscape because they think just this is one class. But this is actually made to be, this is one class. This entire thing is one whole class. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 classes. So this is enough for 6 blocks. I had a year where I taught like 28 kids, so mine went down and then up on the next side because some kids move, some kids gain, and I could just add them on down. So the landscape planner actually has more room for the grade book if you are interested. There are 4 grade books just like in the portrait planner, and you can easily just access those from the grade section, that little tab on the side. So there's my grade book, and then after that you get to your main to-do list. So here's my to-do list button right here, and again you have this big section to list things, and then you have a notes section. After that, we have our daily plan where you can kind of list all of your schedule for the day and any other things you need to do. Please ignore the 3-year-old, pandemic life. This is your weekly planning page. The weekly planner and the daily planner in the landscape is much more spread out. You have a lot more room for options. And then after that begins our student info, where we can list all of our things about our students. Now, this may not be enough students, so you can always copy and duplicate this page as you need to. If you want a more detailed student info section, I do have a student info expansion pack that is way more detailed and much more room if interested. Then we have our parent communication section, which is similar to the portrait. You have your student, and then when you talk to the person, email, phone, email, phone, or note, and then some notes. After that, we have our meeting notes section, which is very similar to the portrait, but this one has lines instead of dots, which I kind of like better. And then after that, we have our professional development section, which again, I decided to put lines and then without lines. Then we have small group documentation, where we can document our different groups, and then what we're going to do with them, and our planning. After that, we move into our student data, which is where we can track our student data. Remember, you could duplicate this page for however many students you need. And then we move into our monthly planning pages. So this is our monthly planning pages, very similar to the portrait, except you have more room for notes. And then we have our monthly our monthly spread, and that will also bring you to our weekly spread, where I decided to go like everyone's been saying and have our columns instead of going across horizontal. So we have all of our different sections, and then we have a blank one which could be used for weekends if you wish, or notes. I didn't want to put a weekend necessarily if people didn't want the weekend, so now you could use it for either one. So this is our weekly layout, and then of course followed by the months. So all of the weeks look the same. We have our dates. If you got the dated or the undated one, it will be the same. If you see a blank week, it is because I was trying to keep the same amount of weeks following each one to make the layout easier. If it's blank, just leave it alone. You don't need it. And then you go all the way through November, and then December, all the way to the end of the year. And following our December planning is our template pages, which again, these are linked. Just like in the last one, we have some squared options, lined options, and if you want to use these, you could just duplicate these pages and insert them somewhere, or you could also screenshot them and use the lasso tool as well. So these are our dotted options, and then we have our blank ones. Now we move into our blank tabs, which if you have my lifestyle inserts, you could also just use those JPEGs and insert them here, but they can be accessed here, straight down as well, and you can customize them as well. After the blank tabs, we move into our stickers, which is very similar to our portrait stickers. Not much is different. There's maybe the order is a little bit different, but other than that, they are all the same. And I'm just going to keep flipping through so you can see all the stickers that are included. Try to include everything that was kind of brought on us by 2020. Zoom meetings, hybrid schedules, virtual schedules, Google Meets, all the things. I tried to include as much as I could remember. It was a long year, right? And then give you as many options as possible, including my people, Mardi Gras, which we're not having this year, but, it's always important to us. And then give you some small options, big options, and of course, we can't forget our blank ones, followed by our lifestyle stickers. I tried to spread them out as much as possible to give you room to lasso them. So I do have a detailed video on how to use the stickers, but you want to use the pen tool and you want to lasso around it. Tap on it, take screenshot, the share button, and then you want to copy. And then once you copy it, you want to get out of the toolbar, hold down on your screen, and hit paste. From there, you can click on the arrows and crop it. You can even freehand it for a more detailed crop, and then you can resize it and put it exactly where you want. So that is how you use the stickers. One quick thing about the toolbar is when you do not see the pin options, you are in presentation mode, which means all the links will work. If you are in the pin option, you are in annotation mode, which means the pin will not work. None of the links will work and you can't get to anything. I do often have people ask me, why are the links not working all of a sudden? Did you do something? Once this is downloaded onto your planner, onto your tablet, iPad, whatever it is, I do not have access to it. It is a PDF, it is yours, it is interactive. There's nothing I can do to it or nothing that I would want to do to it. It is usually because they are not in the correct toolbar. So if your links are not working, make sure you're in presentation mode. If you see the pin options, then you're not in the correct mode. So again, I have the numbers if you wish to use for your undated planners and make them customized and make them all look the same. And then there are the blank stickers at the end. So please be in touch if you have any questions. And I really can't wait to see what you guys think of this planner. I will be releasing more themes just like usual, but this one is more of a plain kind of neutral theme. So I wanted to stick to something easy. And you can always customize by adding different pictures. Let's see if I have a cute picture available. We just got back from Disney. Oh, this one is of my husband and son. So I like how you can just add pictures wherever you see fit and then make it your own. So please be in touch if you have any questions, and I can't wait to see what you guys think.